Alright, welcome to the world of Seneca Natural Questions, Book 5, picking up at 15.3. Before Philip the Macedonian, or Philip of Macedon, I'll go with the lobe here and just put reg m, who was the king of Philip of Macedon, there were these people who, pecuniam, money, they would follow as far as the deepest hiding places. Altissimus is superlative. Sometimes it can mean high, but when it's underground it would be in the deepest. And with the right spirit and libero and free. I know they use slaves to mine a lot, but it looks like free people are doing it. They would send themselves into these specuses. You tell it's plural, probably it has to be fourth declension, in which nullem of night or day, no difference. So no, in which nullem discrimin, so no difference of night and day reaches into these caves. A tergo, behind someone's back, light reliquae. So that would be the shortened version of reliquarum, for the plural. They left light behind their backs. What would such a hope be that would do this? There's a question mark there. So what was such a hope that they would leave the light behind? What was such of the necessity that would incurve a man, an erect man, to the stars? So above ground, you stand erect. I guess you hunch when you go underground. And defodet, singular, he would dig into the bottom of the intimate part of the earth, submerged, he'd go under, and he would erue it. He would dig up aurum, which is gold, which is not with a less danger in seeking than to keep a hold of after you've got it, because someone will kill you, I suppose, and steal it. 15.4. On account of this, he exited cunicolos. He made little rabbit holes and tunnels, and around some booty or reward, which is at lutulentum, muddy and uncertain, I guess because you don't always find gold, he crept, oblitus of genitives. He was forgetful of the day, forgetful of the nature of things, of better things, from which he has averted himself or turned away. Ergo, therefore then, uli morto, looks dative I guess, is the earth so gravis, so heavy to any dead person, as to these people, over who a huge avarice has injected the weight of the earth. Hopefully they've got some pillars or something to hold the cave up, which has abstulated the heavens from these people, who are in the Mo, which is the bottom. When this bad virus is lay hitting, so the gold here is like a poison basically, infode it. So it looks like this avarice has injected weight on them, it's taken away the sky, this avarice, put them in the bottom, it's given them this, and it's infoded it, it's buried these people underground. Okay, Daily Dictionary, infode it, to bury or to inter. That's the perfect version of it there. Indicative active. Where were we? They dared to descend illo to there, I guess. It's not a pronoun, it must be an adverb. Where a new position of things, or new placement of things, of ground which is pending, so that would be, I don't know, stalactites, or the roof itself would be hanging above them. Habitus, I don't know what that means here, it probably just means more like the nature of ground or something. And there's ventos, there's wind through these blind emptinesses, or black emptinesses they experience. And it looks more important, horrendous or dreadful springs of flowing water, of not flowing water. It looks singular or something. The lobe treats that at nulla as a person, so there's springs of water not flowing for any person. And another type of night, a perpetual one. Then, when they've done these things, then they're fearing the inferos, the underworld or hell or something. 16.1. But as to this, which we are agitating or discussing, I'll revert back to the plot. There are four winds. Into the autumn, this is related to the sun. So the sun arises in the east. The setting of the sun is in the west. So it'd be east-west winds. The meridian, which is midday or south wind. Septentriones are the 7 stars you see in the northern hemisphere. That's the north winds. They are divided. The rest, which we call with various names, are thus applicated or called. The Urus to the Aurora, goddess of the sunset, and recedes in the, I guess that's Western kingdoms. In Persia, and I guess that's something to do with that'd be a bit east of Rome, etc. And with the rays matuinis, the early morning rays, which are under the yugas, which are yokes or ridges. So, because it's talking about the sun coming up, and there's more winds here. It comes from Persia, maybe, in the early morning under these mountains. Vespers, that's evening time. Oquigio, that's the sunset again. These Tepescan are warm by the sun, some shores, the littoras. These are close to the zephyrs. If you download those things I got there, there's a list of the Greek and Roman names of the winds. Scythia, Septentriones, it's basically one word. So the Horophar borealis, that's another northern word. This wind has something to do with Scythia, obviously. So that's north, and Boreas is north. With deciduous clouds and with the rain that wets from the south against the tellus, against the earth, from Ovid, all that there is, so it must be in verse or something. 16.2. Or if more brevier or brief, you prefer these to be complected or folded up or put together into one storm, which by no way is able to happen, that they can be congregated or come together. There's a quote from Virgil. Together, una, the Urus and the Notus rush, and with frequent storms, Africanus. And later it says he adds, and who has no place in this little rixa or brawl? The Aquilo. Okay, so there's Ovid and Virgil's versions. 16.3. Certain people, quidam, make these 12 for quator parts of the sky. The 4 parts are divided into 3 in their system, and they give binos sub-prefix. So these are two lighter categories, each with a single wind. By this art Varro, a vir diligent man, he ordinates these winds, and not without a reason. Enem. 4. Not always in the same loco, in the same place as the sun arise and set. But otherwise, or other, it's arising and setting of the equinox. Moreover, this is twice. There's twice an equinox, and there's also a solstice in summer and winter. So you have 2 equinoxes and 2 solstices. I think it's 21st of June and of December. Anyway, which surges from the east at the equinox. I guess is the wind from the equinoctial east. Subsolanus, with us it's called, and the Greeks call it alphelion or something. From the hibernal orient, from the winter east, the Urus exits or comes. I don't really think exit means much. You can say to the east or from the east. They both mean east. Which to us is called the Volturnum, and Livy uses this name in that battle, which was leastly prosperous for us Romans, in which Hannibal, against the rising sun, our army, and against the wind, constituted with a favourable wind, and conquered the eyes of the enemy, which would be the Romans, with the fog or the brightness grazing the eyes of the Romans. So the wind and the sun were helping Hannibal. Okay, Varro also usurps this name, who uses this name. But also the Europe now, the Eurus name now. It's come into our city, into Rome, and in our sermon, in our language, it's intervened. It's come, and it's not as if it's an alien word to us. From the eastern solstice, is stirred up what the Greeks call the kaikan, and put us with us. It's without a name. And the lobe says something here. It says summer solstice sunrise is northeast, and the keikis is the east-northeast wind, if that helps.